Okay, so this is a screencast on sort of the next steps of science. So now that I've finished my tracing, kind of traced all the way around this kangaroo, and done some sort of repairing of the line. I might have deleted some lines. Remember to, just quickly to show here, if I go to the sub-select on this line here, and I want to curve some of these things, I can kind of curve these lines in. I can also make this, select and make that a curve. If I select that point and go here to mirrored, it'll kind of round that point out. You can see it kind of rounded it, and then I can take the control bars and fix it to how I want it to make things a little more rounded and not as sort of angular. So you can go through and sort of repair things if you want. And then if you're going to use just the outline, you want to make your line a little thicker. So I'm going to go to pointer, select my shape, and I'm going to make my line, I'm going to try and make it like 5. If I was just going to do an outline, I'll do both. So show you the difference. So I'm going to do like a 8-point outline. So I'm changing the border point. You can see the line just got a lot thicker. So in the borders area down here, okay, let's open that back up. Okay, so in the borders area here, it's 8 points. So I made the line thicker. So if you're just going to do lines, they need to be nice and thick. You don't want them too thin. I'd say no less than 8. You'll see what happens if I do 10. Gets even. 10's pretty good too. So I think I might change it to 10. That looks good. That'll be a good thick line for carving. And I might have, if I was going to do more of this, I probably would have traced these other ones too to use them, but I'm going to actually just use this one over and over. So now I'm going to go to my image and hide my image. Now I'm going to sort of start designing my sign with my graphic and with my lettering. So first thing is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to sort of make this one the sort of star of my sign. I'm going to make it bigger, and then I'm going to duplicate it, Control D, made another one, and this one I'm actually going to fill in black, and I'm going to make this one a little smaller. Sort of put it there, make this one sort of in the foreground, and make this one smaller. Maybe put it up here, and then I'm going to make another one and duplicate this one, and I'm going to put a even smaller one in the sort of background, just to kind of give it a sense of depth. There, I've got my three kangaroos. So that looks pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is my text. So text is right here, text tool. So I'm going to hit text. Over in the appearance is where it tells me the different fonts. So I can change the font. I recommend choosing like a thick font, not something too skinny. I'm going to choose this one called Patrick Hand SC. Where is it? There we go. And this is kind of a cool font. What I like about it is like it does uppercase and lowercase, but it does it all in the capitals. So I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to select it. It's going to be really, really, really small. So you got to zoom in. So now I'm zoomed in, and I'm going to type, sort of triple click. I'm going to type my name of where my sign is for Australia. And then when you're done, it's going to bring you back. You want to off click with the left click, and then I'm going to right click now my word. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this word to a path. And now this converted to a path. It makes it really easy. I won't be able to modify the letters, so you want to make sure you spell things correctly. But it makes it really easy for me to sort of modify and pull and push the lettering. I can also like change its rotation a little bit, so maybe I'll do that. That's kind of fun. Stretch like that. I think I'm going to move this guy up here. That way I can bring my Australia even more this way. Remember, it's a sign, so you want the lettering to be as big as possible. So this is the whole sign. My lettering is almost like half my sign. That's pretty good. Okay. And I think I actually might duplicate this. I might put one more kangaroo, a little tiny one up there. So I've got some black ones, like dark outline ones, some other ones. So another thing you need to do is your mileage. So I'm going to have, there's another screencast. You'll want to pause this. There's another screencast about getting mileage, or you can ask Mr. Lee. or ask your teacher, whoever it is, so you can get the mileage. I know the mileage to Australia because I've already looked it up. So I'm going to get my text again. I'm going to zoom in, get here, and I know it's 10,000. It's approximately 10,430 miles from Jericho, Vermont to Australia. So again, zooming in, done with my text, off click. Now I'm going to right click it and convert it to a path. So you want to make sure you select it, right click, convert to path, and that lets you stretch it out. And I'm going to make it a little smaller because I want to squeeze it in this space here. And then I'm going to get an arrow. And to get an arrow, I'm going to go to the libraries menu, and you see that I typed in the word arrow here. So you can go to in the selection, type in arrow, and they have a whole bunch of different arrows you can choose from. I'm going to choose one of these top ones. I'm going to choose this outlined one. You can see again, it's really small. So you got to zoom in. If you hold down Shift and grab a box, it will keep the aspect all the same. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to reverse the direction of my arrow. So I'm going to use the flip horizontal. And then I'm going to pull this arrow out like so. That. And then put that arrow here underneath. All right. So there's my Australia sign, all ready to go to the next step. So I've got two different versions of my my graphic. This is interesting that this filled. I just want to point this out. Like as I changed its size, it changed this a little bit. So I'm actually going to select this, and I'm going to take its border and I'm going to drop it down to 5. That's going to make it look a little cleaner because it's filled in. Same thing here. I'm going to drop its border down to 4. That looks better. And this one, I'm going to drop its border. It's still at 10. I'm going to drop it down to 8. And that just kind of makes it look a little more like my original one there. And that's because it was changing size. So that looks pretty good. Ready for the next step. So head on to the next screencast.